How do you build a retirement budget? I've put together a list of 6 crucial steps that you can take to ensure that your budget will actually work. Hey guys, today we're talking about building retirement budgets and ones that will actually work for you. I have 6 crucial steps that I will explain today to make sure that you get this right and to have that budget that will work for you for a long time. My name is Jarrett Lang, Vice President Wealth Advisor here at W.A. Smith Financial. We're a team of fiduciary professionals that work with people all over the United States and helping them do things just like this, building comprehensive retirement plans. And I'm excited to talk about this topic because we get this question a lot. How do I build a retirement budget, especially if I'm a person who's never really been on a budget before? Don't know where to start, don't know where to begin. Let's jump in. Number 1, first crucial step to take, you absolutely must know right now what you spend on an average daily, weekly, monthly basis. Key here is monthly. Do you know where all your money goes? You get paid if you're still working, that paycheck goes into your bank account, and you know how much you spend, but have you ever really looked at it? Some people have a guess, they have an estimate, they might start counting on their fingers, oh, well, I spend electric bill and gas bill and utility bill, but do you truly know what it is? And I'm gonna challenge you here, you must break it into 2 categories. You have your basic expenses, and you have your discretionary expenses. They're 2 very different things. Basics are things you must pay for. Discretionary things are things that you want to do. That's hobbies, that's entertainment, that's joy, that's fun. So do it right now. Before you retire, build the budget, see what you actually send out the door every single month. Number 2, what expenses are going to change when you get to retirement? So for a lot of you, what you do today while you're still working, it's going to drastically change when you actually get into retirement. My father once said when he retired, and I asked him, how's it going, Dad? He said, every day is like Saturday today. My dad worked 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, overtime. He didn't have a lot of time to spend money while he was working, but now that he was retired, everything had changed. His hobbies had increased, and therefore the money he spent on them had increased. His healthcare expense had now increased and changed. He was required to pay a lot more out of pocket because his company was covering a lot of that premium for him. There are other things in his life that were going to change as well with how he was going to spend his time. So you have to start looking at how those expenses are going to change. And my suggestion for you is to make a list and put a dollar amount next to it so that you can add those to your working budget. Number 3, how are you going to work your lifestyle when you get to retirement? So let me explain. A lot of people just plan for a budget and they expect that how they spend their money is going to remain consistent throughout their long retirement. Now, retirement can be a longer duration for some and shorter for others, but if you imagine a retirement that lasts 20, 30, 40 years even, do you really think that you're going to spend your money the exact same way for that entire length of time? Some people that we meet, they'll say they want to front-end load their plan. So they might retire at age 60 and they say, hey, based on my health and based on how active and how young I am right now, I'm going to spend a lot more for these first 10 years of retirement because my wife and I would like to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And then when I get to age 70, we'll back it down. We'll cut our expenses. We'll fall in line at that point. We probably won't do as much. So have you considered this? Are you going to do a vacation home? Are you going to start traveling south for the winter? Are you going to travel a little bit more to see your family? What kinds of expenses are going to pop up now that you have a different lifestyle? Number 4, how will entitlement programs change? Let me explain. Social Security. For many of us that are qualified to reap the reward of Social Security, that program is going to change during your lifetime. They have cost of living adjustments. They have things that will affect that program. We don't know what the future with that program will look like and any legislative changes that could be made to it. Pensions, for those of you who have a pension, how secure is the pension? We've seen plenty of pension funds that go under or are underfunded that could then change how much you receive from that government-based or that public-based pension. And you got to be careful with these because if you're planning on these programs to be there for you all the time and you're never thinking about contingency planning to where if one of those paychecks got affected, how would you refund yourself? How would you create that income that you need to make up what was lost? You could be in trouble. So make a big focus when you're budgeting out, what will your entitlement programs get you, and how much more do you need based on what your budget looks like at that point. Number 5, one of the most important things. We've already talked about what our monthly needs are, basic and discretionary. We've talked about how your expenses may change, things that could go away when you retire, things that could come into focus when you retire just because now you have more time. We've talked about how your lifestyle may change, and we've talked about entitlement programs. So you should have a pretty good idea of how much money you need coming into the bank account to pay for all the things that you want to do and all the things that you're required to pay for. Let's assume that that number is $7,000 a month. But you know your entitlement programs, maybe you have a small pension and Social Security, are only going to bring you in $3,000 a month. Number 5 tip here, what is the shortfall? We call it the income gap. You need $7,000, you only have $3,000 coming in. Where's the additional $4,000 a month going to come from? You only got a couple of options here. You can either choose to go out and get some part-time work, and now you have a phased retirement or a different version of retirement. Most people we meet, retirement means I'm done working. So if that's you, that shortfall that you have, the $4,000 a month that you're short, that has to come from your retirement nest egg, that portfolio that you've saved up. So now we've determined what your shortfall is and how much money you're going to need to take from the portfolio when you get to retirement. 6th and final tip, we just figured out what your shortfall is. In our example, it was $4,000 a month. Now let's look at how that shortfall could change. This is what we call phase or phases of income planning. So if you are a 60-year-old and you know at age 60 you need $4,000 a month, will that $4,000 a month change? What could make it change? Well, when you get to age 62, if you turn Social Security on, you might not need $4,000 a month anymore because Social Security could be filling some of that gap. Another trigger or target age might be 65 when you qualify for Medicare. And if you're paying out-of-pocket medical insurance premiums, your cost could go down because you don't have to pay as much for your medical, and now you don't have to pull as much from your portfolio, so your shortfall has changed. What could make your shortfall go up? Things like inflation, cost of living adjustments, unpredictable healthcare expenses. There are things that will pop up just as they always have in life that could make your shortfall go up and or go down. So you have to be cognizant that when you have that shortfall, it is not a static number. This is something that you need to be talking to your financial advisor on a regular basis about to ensure that you have plans built to modify the withdrawal that you're taking from the portfolio to ensure that it lasts. Hey, I've got a bonus tip for you. If you would like to download our complimentary retirement checklist challenge, just get your hands on that by clicking on the link in the description below. If you like today's content, like, share, and subscribe. We'd love to reach more people like you. Share this with someone that you know that could benefit from it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.